So yeah, Rox, there's been a lot going on, hasn't it? New single and new album on the way.
I'm trying to have a lot going on, but I can't believe what's happening in this world right now.
Yeah,
for the past year or two.
Yeah.
Well, the single that I'm promoting now is that I did the video for.
Yeah.
Actually came out last year. I did 2 versions of a song of mine. It's the end of my girl group bunch of songs from my catalogs. I have all these songs in my catalog. Some are country, some are this, that. So I did all these girl group type songs that I had over the past few years, single after single. So I think this is the last one, I'm pretty sure. And so I did one version in French, and I shot that in front of this colored, very artsy background last year during lockdown. And it was good because not many people, the police sort of rode by, didn't say anything as I was shooting. But we were supposed to shoot the English version last autumn in London, at the Dublin Castle, which is a very special place to me because I played there like in 1995 or 94.
When you first came over?
No, well, one of the trips over as a show, as an acoustic show. And the same man is booking, Tony Gleed, bless his heart, is still booking the Dublin Castle.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, you can do it here. And then the lockdowns happened, and then things changed at the Dublin Castle. And then everything was on hold, as you know, forever. And then I was thinking, because I never stopped creating in my mind, and I was visualizing what I was going to do with the video when I finally did it. And I thought, well, the Dublin Castle stage is pretty high. It is. It's tiny, but it's high. And I'm thinking, well, that might not look so great. Like, we're really going to have to work hard to get, So then I thought, what about the Troubadour,
Yeah.
One step up, that's it. So I started getting in touch with them, and they said, sure, once the lockdown's over and we all get back to normal, you can come and shoot your video at the Troubadour.
That's great.
And then it was over, and then they were refurbishing it, and they didn't tell me really what they were doing, because I did play the Troubadour, I think 2010 or something, but they didn't tell me what they were doing, and it's just the floor wasn't ready, so I had to keep canceling. Then I was losing band members who were thinking, this isn't ever going to happen. No, I'm not available. So it's like, oh no. So I had to get other people involved, and finally happened. I couldn't, even down to the day, I thought this isn't going to happen. And Alan Blizzard from the Electrics, he played guitar on the record, and he was going to be in the video, and he was saying, this song is cursed. This is not going to happen, Rox. This is cursed. And I said, no, I'm never cursed. It's not going to, no. So we got down there, and then I was shocked because the Troubadour lost half their space. But now they did that expansion in the 1980s or late 70s. They did the expansion where they were doing so well because, they were so famous from, the Dylan and Hendrix thing. But even in 75, like Led Zeppelin, after they played Earls Court, they went to the Troubadour. Well, Page and Planted, and they went downstairs and played. So they did very well, and so they bought the extra buildings on both sides, and but that's done. So they had to resell them back. So now we're in this original space, and I said, where's the stage? And they said, oh, that stage used to be in the other building. I'm like, what? And they said, but no, this is the original stage. This is it. This is where Dylan and Hendrix played. We moved it. When we expanded, this is the space. And then there was this plaster, bizarre mandala on the wall, and I said, this is, something's going on here, and I could feel it, like, this is good. So we set up, and then Alan Blizzard, the guitarist, he reminded me that months ago I said I might want to do this in black and white. I didn't even remember thinking that. And so when I put it together, when we edited it, I stripped all the color out, and I said, wow, cool. And the mandala, and then I found pictures of Richard Farina. Do you know who he is?
No.
Richard Farina was a writer and a musician from Brooklyn who was really popular, and he was married to Joan Baez's sister.
Okay, yeah. So what period would this be?
Was
early 60s?
Early to mid 60s.
Yeah.
He was great friends with Brian Jones.
Yeah.
He was like major hipster. And he wrote a book that I read in high school called Been Down So Long It Looks Like Up to Me. I still have the book.
Yeah.
And he died in a motorcycle accident in Carmel on the way to celebrate the book or something like that. But anyway, he performed at the Troubadour, and they have the day after I filmed it, I was looking things up, and I see him in front of this mandala that I just did my video in front of, and I thought, there you go, okay, good. So anyway, it came out good, and it came out, I didn't even think the thing would get done. Then to have something get done and come out better than you even thought it would is a good thing. So,
yeah, that is a very good thing.
Yeah, so I'm happy with that. And it's old school rock and roll.
And you've got plenty of roots there, haven't you? I mean, you're too young to have been there then, but you have hooked into it since then. And you used to run the Brian Jones fan club when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So there's a connection there straight away.
Yes.
And then there's the Donovan and the Dylan thing, and you
Yes.
know, and the Village. Greenwich Village,
Yes.
and you being an Italian
I know.
American,
And-
growing up in New York at that time.
And being an expat,
Yeah.
you know, living in England and being in London,
Yeah.
you know, I always associate with Jimmy, you know that.
So
I
what?
mean.
Yeah, and this is big Jimmy country around here. I mean, Mitch Mitchell lived in this house for a while.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, you told me that last time, but I forgot about that.
I know, we're
That's
still
right.
trying to get the blue plaque on the door.
Oh, wonderful. Definitely. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best drummers ever, you know?
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
you're definitely connected to it, and you know, I think it shows in the music. Really, it does. Especially with the beautiful French girls from the '60s.
Oh, I love them.
You love them, don't you?
Yes.
And I mean, who doesn't?
Yes.
You know, name a few.
Annie Philippe.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah,
listening to so much Annie Philippe lately.
Yeah.
And Françoise, of course. is Queen.
Yeah.
And Zuzu, who covered Donovan songs.
Yeah.
And so many.
Yeah.
But I love the French version. And when I did the French version, we had trumpets on that. And I took it out for the rock version. Because we just did all these tracks. And, you know, I do all my mixing and mastering now through New York. Which you can do now. You just send things through emails and
it's
you know,
easy.
It's
weird.
Really easy. It's not really great, but
there's no getting on a jet and having to go over there and
there's
hard
a
copy.
part of it that's good, and there's somebody that I know, a guitar player that I know since my high school days, who's got a home studio. He's done well for himself, and on the side he sort of you know, really got it together with learning about how to do things. And I actually picked his mastering job over Sterling Sound a few years ago, and I had something mastered at Sterling in New York City. Yeah. So I work with him, and we send things back and forth, just for mixing and mastering, not recording. Recording I do in London at Gizzard, which is an analog studio, 16-track, 2-inch tape, which I love, you know. So then we can do things like turn something into an MP3 and it doesn't sound like crap because at least the original was done on tape. Yeah. So there's still some sort of essence, because then if you record digitally and then you're turning things into MP3, it's very thin, it's very lifeless. Yeah. You know, you're gonna even a master is gonna lose its magic to a certain degree by doing that. So so we had all these tracks done for the song, and then, you know, the French one, it's like, well, let's keep the trumpets here, put them loud, but when we do the rock and roll one, no trumpets, you know, but we'll leave the sax on, but instead of the sax solo, we'll have a guitar solo. And then I thought, I want to do a sort of a Mick Ronson sound on the guitar solo. Yeah. So I wrote the line, it's the line, the lead guitar on that song, I wrote that a million years ago. I remember playing it when we opened for the Specials, my band, in Long Island in 1981. So that's my line. So that had to stay. I had the sax play my line, and then I had the guitarist play my line with this Mick Ronson sound. So so then we mixed it totally different, and we kept on this keyboard that sounded very 80s. But I wanted to do it because it's an old song that I wrote in the 80s just one time, and I wanted to sort of retain some of the original.
So who's the band you're using nowadays?
Oh, it's just, well, the new record has got a whole different set of folks.
Each day I could be treating you wrong, might not know just what I've done, and the days they just go wasting by. Chaque jour je pourrais te maltraiter. Peut-être je ne sais pas ce que j'ai fait.